Mr. Chairman, and thank you for calling this hearing together. I think it's very informative and very, very interesting and very, very exciting as well. But I live in a city in California, Thousand Oaks, which is one of the most bicycle-friendly communities in California. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about, as we put more intelligence into our transportation systems, how is that interoperability working with pedestrians and bicycle traffic? Mr. Barna?
Chairman Graves, Representative Brownley, it's very promising as we see more and more pedestrians and bicycles interacting with vehicular traffic. We're also seeing an increase in fatal accidents between cars, pedestrians, and bicycle. In our state, that number has gone up. This technology is now, we're getting to the point where the technology will be able to sense, whether in the blind spots or any types of objects, whether it's pedestrians, bicycles, and giving these drivers much more warning than they had before. So, as far as the connected vehicle environment, or even just it's a little more of the autonomous features that they're able to sense pedestrians, bicyclists all around. Just now, as many cars are coming off the assembly line today, you have the blind spot warnings where you see the lights in your rearview mirrors come on if there's somebody there. That is being, that technology is advancing to the point where we can detect pedestrians and bicyclists as well. If we look at it in a downtown space, our signals are actually becoming the eyes and ears for us there. So you making a right turn sometimes might be blinded by parked cars. You may not see a pedestrian in that crosswalk. What happens is now that signal identifies that pedestrian in that crosswalk and sends you a signal in your car that there is a pedestrian in that crosswalk. We are actually doing that testing right now as we speak in the city of Marysville as we advance signal technology. But the signal is acting now kind of as a watchdog for the entire intersection. Is sending messages to the car, hey, you've got a pedestrian in that walk, or you got a bicycle approaching such and such. Let alone it's communicating that information to you, but it's also making decisions on its own as far as how it changes the pedestrian crossings, as well as even the red, greens in all directions.
Mr. Bott, do you have a comment?
Yeah, just really briefly, I think it's a great question. When you delve into the fatality increase across the country, where we're seeing the biggest increases in vulnerable users of the system, bicyclists, pedestrians, motorcyclists, and I believe it's because of this epidemic of distracted driving that we have out there. One of our members, New York City, has this great program called Vision Zero, and they've actually seen a reduction in pedestrian and bicycle fatalities, and all of the technology that's out there, I think, will help us with this distracted driving issue, which is really driving a lot of these fatalities.
Thank you very much. And Ms. Castilla, I wanted to ask you, my other responsibility in Congress is taking care of our nation's veterans, and I was just wondering if you collected any data in what you're doing out in the rural areas on veterans. I know there's a medical center in Iowa. There's obviously community clinics throughout, and if you're collecting any of that data in terms of veteran use.
Yes, we work with our veterans associations, and they all have their own vehicle, which they take a lot of veterans to various clinics, but because their vehicles are not accessible vehicles, we've partnered with them, and we allow the veteran to, we take them to the Veterans Hospital in the Des Moines area or in the Marshalltown area, and then they just reimburse us for a cost because they're not able to take those. So we do have that data. I don't know what that is off of the top of my head, but yeah, we store all of that in our software.
Well, I would love to, if you would share the data, I'd love to
I would
see
absolutely
it, because
do
I
that.
think it's what you're doing is possibly an important solution in terms of veterans getting to their health care throughout the country. So I'd actually like to see the data.
I will absolutely share that with you. It's kind of it's been difficult to be quite honest when working with the VAs. But we don't want to take the transportation away from them. We just want to be able to partner with them in doing that. So I think there's some more opportunities we have. We just haven't been able to make those quite connections, but I will get you the data, absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Smucker.
Thank you, Ms.